Morning and welcome to this week's Coffee and Conversation. And this came up in the forums, but I also talked with a man about this topic this past weekend. Women who don't love you, tell you they're done, want a divorce, and then they say, but we should live together as roommates for the kids. I have a bit of advice regarding this. Don't do it. First of all, would she be a roommate you would pick? And why would you want to live with somebody who doesn't want to be with you? And then there's a good chance she's going to be negative, critical, bitchy at times, and ultimately use you as built-in babysitting. Not saying that's always the case, but it often is. And then you have to realize why she's suggesting this. It's for convenience and it's because of fear. When you look at Maslow's hierarchy, there's the physiological foundation of it, 4 walls, food and shelter, and then safety. These are meeting her needs and her fear of having to do everything on her own. So basically she's using you. She doesn't even realize that. She just sees this as a great solution. And it may allow her to hide the fact that the marriage is dead a little longer. If you've worked hard to overcome your nice guy habits, become a great man, how do you excel and live an amazing life in that situation? How do you operate as a high-valued man? How do you explain that to a woman that you meet? Oh, yeah, because you're not married, you're allowed to have a life. You must respect yourself enough to sit her down and say, babe, I have no doubt we can be amazing co-parents, but we are not going to live together if we're divorced. I'm not going to be roommates with my ex-wife. Of course, there's the 1 in 1,000 where this may work, but this isn't going to work. We've even had women suggest buying duplexes and they could each live on one side. Again, complete insanity. Why would you want your ex to see your comings and goings? And then same thing, how do you have time away from your kids to enjoy your time, the time that you get for the first time since having kids if you're divorced, time for yourself, 50% of the time, if you have them right next door. Now for the men, if you haven't done the work on yourself, it may sound like a good idea because you have low value and low opinion of what you're worth. And this allows you to, in your mind, still keep the family intact even though it's wrong. But it actually hurts both of you in many ways. Existing in a crap situation, you're existing, not living, men. Okay? You're not thriving, you're not excelling, you're also hurting the kids. Yeah. Because first off, you're not showing up the way you should as a great man. You're showing up less than. You're showing up with bad energy. You're creating uncertainty. And do you want to demonstrate this is what a marriage looks like to your children? This is not what a marriage is supposed to look like. And you don't want to teach them that horrible lesson. You don't want to have kids that grow up and go, I'm never getting married because they saw what your marriage was like, or they're willing to accept far less than because of what they saw demonstrated by you. So I want to challenge you to love and respect yourself enough not to be a roommate for your ex because it's convenient for her, because she's scared and she doesn't want to actually face the consequences of her decision. That's what it comes down to. Don't do it. Now, if you're not to this point of divorce and you want to try to figure out how do I recapture her, starting in June, I've got a small group coaching program, the Bedroom Revival. It could help you understand how to possibly reignite and reattract your wife, what you're doing wrong, and how you might be able to turn it around if it's not too late. Hit the Get in Touch button at manoflegacy.org and let's talk. and talk about that program or coaching or whatever. Always a free couple of calls for the men. Love you guys. Have a great week.